So this is the reality, like why most people never make it to $20,000 a month. I mean, we all met online like about 2.5 years ago, and we realized that most people are just lazy as fuck. But before we continue, like, why do you think most people are just lazy cunts and they never make it to 20,000 a month?
I mean, brother, to be honest, I think it's just a lot of people in this generation aren't used to ever putting in any work, bro, for the most part. You look, our parents, our grandparents, you put them with the opportunity, and I think, Andy, you and I were talking about this the other day, you put any of those people with the opportunity we have now, half of them would be millionaires. I think it's just the way that society is now. Everything's so easy for people to get that they hope that, oh yeah, I can just become rich like this.
Yeah. And it's so sad, bro. I mean, come on. Like, most people rather work like 20, 30 years on Taco Bell and like work for somebody else. I mean, bro, what do you think? Like, why do you think most people are
I also
lazy?
think it could be like just infinite choices. There's like so many different options, and it could like mind boggle
It's
people
true.
and give people too much to think about, too many options where they don't know where to start, or they almost like feel overwhelmed.
Yeah, like having too many options is like, it can cloud your judgment and it can cloud your decision making process to like actually choose one thing and like just commit and focus on that one thing. Because when you're focusing on multiple things, you're splitting your focus and your energy. But like, why do people want to get to $20,000 a month? Like, for you personally, like, why do you want to get to $20,000 a month?
I mean,
Like, why did you want it? Because obviously you're making more than 20K a month, but like, why did you want it in the first place?
yeah, I mean, for me, it was always about not kind of being limited to what most people thought was possible. Like, I never had the idea of I want to go down a traditional path, go to uni and things like that. Like, I kind of did it just to keep my parents happy until I had proof that things were working. But even me, like, my journey, most people that know me from like high school, if they're watching this and stuff like that, know that I wanted to be a professional footballer. That was always my thing.
Damn.
So I remember in year 10, I would tell the careers counseling people, they pull you in, they're like, oh yeah, so what do you want to be? I told them a footballer. They're like, oh, what's your plan B? You know, like, what's your plan B? And I'm like, well, I don't know, build my own business or something. They thought I was like a defect. Like, the look on their face wasn't a look of like, oh, that's a great goal, like, you should do that. It was like, what's wrong with you? That's kind of like the moment where I'm like, okay, you know, I have to do this so I can live my dream life. But also, it's always been a motivation for me to give the dream life to the people around me. Like, have enough, not just for my experiences, but my family, my friends. Like, imagine you just tell your boys in a group chat one day, hey, I'm sending a fucking limo for you guys, a Cadillac or some shit. You guys go on to the private jet. Let's go on a mad trip. Like, that, to me, being able to be comfortable to give life experiences and a dream life to everyone around you that's been there since day one, your family, bro, it's the most important thing.
That was beautiful.
Yeah, bro. I mean, what about you, bro?
Don't ask questions you already know the answer.
I mean, it doesn't have to be like a grandiose like goal or like
limit us to
helping
20K,
people.
bro.
No, bro. I mean, but the thing is,
I don't know, it's kind of a pussy number.
Yeah,
it's
Yeah.
realistic. It's realistic for most
Yeah.
people watching this that are probably at like 5, 2, 3K a month.
Well, I made more than
They
20K
wanna-
last month.
Of course,
so.
bro. I mean, that's what we're here for, right? We want to
Well,
get
the
to
thing
50 and
is-
100K.
It's kind of like, the way I look at it, if you're looking at 20K as a big number right now, I don't see that as a bad thing. I think that's something that it's uncomfortable for you now because you can't see the pathway. Same way right now, it's like, I know I want to go towards $1 billion, things like that are crazy. I don't see the pathway fully yet, but I know it's possible. And it's kind of like once you, I mean, I'm sure for you guys it's the same. When you dipped your toes into this space, you're kind of like, oh shit, like what I thought was possible is a completely different reality to what other people are doing. And every time we go to places like Florianopolis or other places, you know, Medellin, you'll meet people and you'll be like, oh shit, like, I just met a 16-year-old doing $500,000 a month, and you think, what the fuck what is even real? What is possible?
Right.
You know?
I mean, that's such a great point. I mean, people look at $20,000 a month like a big number, but in reality, they are just limiting themselves to what they can achieve. And that's also part of why we are at 20K a month, because we see it as a low number. We don't see it as a goal. We see it as goal number 1. And goal number 2 is 50K a month. Goal number 3 is like 100K a month. Goal number 4 is $1 million a month. And we see it as realistic, and then we feel bad to even be here, right? But most people just look at that and it's like such a big number. I mean, what broke that limiting belief for you, personally?
What, to make like 20K or whatever?
Yeah, just like going from like 5K a month, like working a regular job, to like where you're.
So I don't know if you remember, like a month ago we were in Colombia, and you said to me, dude, I want to make $1 million a month by the end of the year. And I was like, okay, what would that person like you as $1 million a month earner be doing? Like, what would your schedule be? And you said to me, like, you'd wake up at 9 a.m, you'd eat like a healthy breakfast, you'd go for like a morning walk, do some reflection, then you'd gym, then you'd do like some heavy work online, handle emails. Then you said you'd come back, you'd do some strategizing, content.
Yeah.
And then I looked at you and I said, well, why don't you just embody those behaviors or those like habits or those like hobbies?
Yeah, and it makes so much sense.
If you're going to be like a 20K a month or 50K a month, 100K a month, whatever the numbers earner, like, why don't you already do those things that you would already do when you have that income coming in? And that's kind of what broke my limiting belief. Is like I used to have like a limiting mindset, and I just realized like if I want to be someone who's making 20K, 30K, 50K, I have to already like wake up and be that person that has that in the bank account every month. That's the only way, like, for me, that I got there personally.
Yeah, you embody like the actions, the inputs.
You already like pre-manifested it, or like
basically.
lived the journey of that like person, so that just instantly like qualifies you to be that person, because you're already doing the things or the hard miles that person would be doing. And then you're not like you don't have like an attached mindset, because you're already like wiring your brain to think that you already have that. So it's like not like you're chasing it, you already have accepted it into your
It's like manifestation. Just like you manifested that reality already by taking action.
It's like manifestation, but it's like deeper. It's like psychological manifestation.
No, it's even better because you're taking action, not just thinking about it or not wishing about it. That's 99% of people, they just wish. They go to 100K a month, 20K a month, but they don't do shit for it.
Yeah,
pretty much.
They don't take action.
It's kind of funny because you look at it, there's so much irony in it. There's like so many elements of life that people do realize this, but they don't realize it when it comes to the things that really matter for their dreams. It's like you look at people at school, and everyone's at school, right? There's nothing against that, but it's more of a case of like, you know, if you want to get top grades, you know you have to study, you know you have to show up and study and revise and do all these things. But then when it comes to starting a business, all of a sudden people just think, oh yeah, you know what, I'm just gonna wake up with $1 million business. Like it just the logic flips on its head because it's an abstract concept. And I actually think, I want you guys' thoughts on this. I would say that the hardest part of being an entrepreneur, whether you're in sales or starting a marketing company or whatever it is, it doesn't really matter what business you have. The hardest part isn't actually the amount of work you have to do. I actually think people in a 9-to-5 going to uni, they're doing just as much work as anybody else for the most part. I think the hardest part is not having a clear path laid out for you, and one that you have to figure out yourself. Because it is easier when someone says, hey, this is your homework, this is what you should study. If you study this and you practice this, you will get this. But in entrepreneurship, you kind of just got to go to YouTube and think, fuck, what do I even want to do as a business? What do I have to learn to make that business work? And it's that idea of not knowing, being comfortable not knowing, and still pushing through to find a way.
That's what makes it difficult.
So hard.
That's what makes it difficult, because people, when they are in college, when they are in uni, they already have a path laid down in front of them, which is the safe, guaranteed pathway to quote unquote success. But in reality, entrepreneurship is all about like, taking things into your own account, like figuring things out, like taking risk, having a lot of uncertainty. And that's why most people never do it, because they just want to feel safe. But what is that actually doing for them?
And what you always say to me is like people have like fear of judgment also.
Fear of judgment
is, I think, a big factor to like entrepreneurship, like making yourself vulnerable in front of friends and family and people who know you is like one of the most scary things is on entrepreneurship.
Just anything, posting your first bit of content, stepping in your first business onto your first sales call. I don't know about you guys, like we're good at sales now. I manage teams, I've trained maybe 200 something people, but my first sales call, I was shitting myself. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't.
Bro, you know what my first sales call was?
What was it?
With you.
Same, bro, same.
Because you know that saying when they say your first sales call actually starts with the interview on an offer, because you have to sell yourself to get on the roll. And Maddie gave me my first role as he's a sales manager for like a first role that I closed on. That was my first closing call that I did.
Bro, Maddie's a legend, bro.
I closed Maddie.
Bro, Maddie's like the first sales manager
day one.
that hired me and Andy, bro. He hired both of us like in 2024.
And here we are in Brazil. That's life.
And now we are here in Brazil. That's literally manifesting the reality you want. Like 2 years ago, if you told me, bro, we're going to be in Brazil surfing, enjoying life, doing business together, I wouldn't believe you, bro.
Shit, I wouldn't have believed it a couple of years ago.
Exactly.
It's kind of funny. It's like even you guys talk about closing me on that first interview. At the time, like 2 years ago, I started managing teams in the online space maybe 2.5 years ago. And I had a smaller client before that. But that particular offer was the biggest one I'd had, like the first big offer. And I remember like I was kind of like, I don't even know what the fuck I'm doing.
Like the biggest influencer.
At the time, right? Like I'd worked with some other big names that are much bigger now, but at the time it was kind of like, whoa, I know maybe 30% of what I'm supposed to do, but I'm going to figure out the rest. There's kind of one of those things is that's the other part to it, bro. People are scared to take action before they're like perfect. Like they think they have this notion of like you have to have everything perfect. You have to know everything, back to the comfort thing, right? Before you even start on any endeavor. But the reality is like you get better by just doing it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, just do it. It doesn't matter if it's going to be imperfect action, as long as you take action, because most people never even dare to take that first step.